Previously on Gearz.
Stan.
Hello.
Hello, Stan.
Hey, Sasha, how are you?
I'm very well. This is Stan Andrews, the guy I'm talking about, Daisy. He's in the Heat magazine. Have you seen your article in the Heat magazine, Stan?
I have. I went down this morning and bought 15 issues.
This is I like Stan. You know, I phoned him earlier. I said, "Hi, is this Stan?" He goes, "Depends. Am I in trouble?" This guy's got.
I've learned.
Yeah, this guy's got just such a brilliant sense of humor. Stan, well, let you know, because the people listening now on Balls, you actually don't know who Stan Andrews is. So let's tell you, you are an amputee.
Correct.
All right. So it's in the leg.
Correct. The right one.
The right one. Above the knee, below the knee?
Below the knee.
Okay. And has this been since you were small, or is it a recent happening?
I was born with a deformed right foot and underdeveloped leg. So when I got to the age of 7, they amputated the front half of my foot off.
Okay. All right. So you've lived with this all your life, but you are like one of these extreme athletes. You should be at the X Games.
Thank you.
No, seriously. I mean, you go in aeroplanes and you do extraordinary things. You were meant to be at work on Friday, but you were playing golf.
Yeah, I just hope my boss is not listening.
How did the round go?
It actually went very well. It was for a charity golf day involving Canon, and it was a wonderful day, and I had a great time. I love golf. I'm a very passionate golfer. So.
I believe so. I mean, you won the in 2010 the Division 5.
Back open, yeah.
That's incredible.
It was.
And now is your handicap improved, though?
Oh, absolutely. I used to. That was when I was a 23 handicap. I've dropped down to 14 now.
Wow.
That's fantastic. Okay, we got to organise a golf game when you come back.
No, we absolutely have to.
No, we will. I've got your details now. Yeah.
Oh, please. Now you can be like a bad rash. You don't have to go anywhere. You can stay here like a bad rash.
And listen, you're a member at Eagle Canyon. That's pretty close to where I am.
Oh, really? Do you live in the...
Yeah, somewhere around there.
No, but don't stalk me.
Listen, buddy, I followed you, and then I had to force you to follow me so I could send you a message.
No, I was following you long before that. Don't talk rubbish.
Stan, the reason we're getting in touch with you, you are embarking on something extraordinary. And I mean, listen, we've just had the normal Olympic Games, the Paralympic Games, and now all of a sudden you have got a prosthetic leg on the one side, but you are embarking on something which, listen, as an able-bodied person, I wouldn't even dream about doing this kind of thing. You want to go and climb Kilimanjaro.
Correct.
How did this come about?
I've always wanted to climb Kilimanjaro. Obviously, it's the biggest mountain in our backyard. Me being proudly South African, I thought I'll start with that one.
Yeah.
And earlier this year, I won a competition involving Virgin Insurance, and they sponsored me $60,000 and said, "We'll go climb the mountain." And
brilliant.
That's where I am. We actually leave this Saturday morning at 10 to 1. I'll be at the airport Friday night already, and we fly out. And what has made this thing special and bigger is that the crazy guy that makes me this awesome leg is going with me, Marco Deploy, and he's decided to do it barefoot to raise money for Pathways in Pretoria, which is a school for disabled people.
Listen, what primary school did this guy go to? I mean, or high school? Did they play barefoot rugby until matric or something?
When he came to me and said he wants to go barefoot, I actually questioned whether he did have high school.
No, that's you know what? That's a fair enough comment as well. I mean, does he understand what he's undertaking?
Yeah, it has been done. We've done our research. It has been done many times before.
Okay.
But Marco's also the kind of guy, you know, when he trained to run the comrades, he does barefoot road running. You know, and you see him and his kids all the time. They don't. His daughter actually had to wear shoes for the first time the other day. It was mandatory, and she looked like she walked worse than what I did, because she's just not used to wearing shoes. She's in a primary school. She's in a primary school where they allow the kids to come barefoot, and the kids love it. They don't understand the concept of shoes. It's like the good old days.
Yeah. Okay, Stan. So you got this little bit of money from Virgin, and now are you also trying to raise money for Pathways? How is this working, or is it just Mark who's doing it for the Pathways and you doing it just to achieve it because it's something you've always wanted to do?
Well, what has happened is since this thing has happened, I didn't think my life could get much better.
Yeah,
I was wrong. My life has gone at a 90-degree angle straight up. I mean, I used to be positive. Now I'm just awesomely positive. I mean, nothing gets me down. But the whole thing is that this has sparked one of my lifelong interests, and that's enabling disabled people to have better prosthetics. So
Yes.
I'm busy registering my own Section 21 company, which I will launch once I'm back. But that's to give people that don't have access to better prosthetics, to give them better prosthetics and to give them the right attitude so they can be, they can live the life that I've lived, not
Yes.
being able to do everything and anything. And so what happened is Marco said to me he wants to raise money for Pathways. So the two of us are raising money for Pathways at the moment.
All right.
But once we get back, I'll be launching the Stand with Stan, company, foundation, organization. And then we'll be doing a whole big, press thing with that as well, for people to start climbing on board with that so we can help other people live a fulfilled life like I have.
Gee, I mean, that's just incredibly admirable. How, when you sit there and say, yes, you've had a lucky life or a blessed life that way, I mean, you've had to go through a tremendous amount of struggles, I'm sure, and most probably, unfortunately, abuse.
Yeah, you see, but that's the thing, Sash. Looking back on it now, I remember as a primary school kid being teased because I couldn't run and being, teased because I've got one leg that's not a real leg and all things like that. And yes, as a youngster, that takes a toll on you. And that's the whole reason why if I'm dealing with a youngster, that's what I want to get into their head as well. That, you know what, don't worry, buddy, because if you persevere now, then in 10, 15 years' time, you can be just like me, when you can go rock climbing and you can do bungee jumping and you can play golf. And then suddenly people go, hey, it wasn't all that bad.
Yeah.
He's actually made something out of his life. But the last thing I want is for you to take what people say to you as a youngster to heart and put you off.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I had a stage where I refused to go shopping with my parents because I had people, kids and adults, staring at me. And I would say to them, but what's wrong with me? Why do people keep on staring at me like that? And my parents would say to me, I said, they're just inquisitive. You just look different. You're not different, but you just look different. So people want to know. That's why I always encourage people now, rather ask. Don't just stare at me. Rather go and say, hey, I see you walk like you have an attitude. Is that for a reason, or were you born that way,
No, I couldn't agree more. But I mean, it is something that you have to contend with. And I think it's so important that, especially the younger kids, and you're talking, those kids from probably 6, 7 years old who maybe have
primary school, yeah,
who sit there and they've got to grow up and not be insecure about it. That's the way that you are made and accepted and be positive about it.
Correct, and and thankfully for my parents and the people around me when I was a youngster, my parents said to me, don't think this is, you're not normal. No, you've got 2 legs. One of them just doesn't get hurt. So that's all the more reason to go play sport because, you've only got one leg that gets tired. So get out there. And that's what I thank them for every day. They didn't, yes, sure, my mother had a soft spot for me and, I probably only got 1/10 of the hidings I deserved. But at the end of the day, if it wasn't for them being that hard on me and saying, no, you will go out, I would have never played soccer. I would have never become a cyclist. I would have never done what I've done already. And I'm so thankful now that they had that approach to me.
No, I think it's extraordinary. I mean, so you're embarking on this. When do you start the climb? So you're going to get there sometime on Saturday.
Yeah. So we fly out Saturday. We land there Saturday. We sleep over. Sunday morning we start. So when we say we start, we take a drive to the national park itself. We register. We have lunch. We actually probably only start Sunday afternoon at about 1:00.
Okay.
And then we climb all the way through. It's a 7-day climb, so 5 days up and 2 days down.
All right.
And which means that we're probably going to Friday morning, I think it is, at around 6:00 we'll reach the summit. And then we come back down to finish on, sort of afternoon Saturday, and then we fly back Sunday.
Wow, I mean that's an incredible experience. In terms of weather, I mean, are you going at a relatively decent kind of time, or is it just the luck of the draw as you get there?
What we've done is, with as much research as we possibly could, we've seen that August, September, October are not generally rainy months. So it's going to be weather like we're having in Joburg today. That's probably not this hot, but this nice and clear and things like that. It's not going to be overcast and rainy. When we arrive there, obviously we're not all weathermen, so it could turn and it could change.
Yeah.
The nice thing about Kilimanjaro is that you go through 6 climates on your climb. Anything from rainforest to marshland to like a desert plateau to glacial snow. So you've got 6 different climates that you climb through on the 7 days. So it doesn't really matter.
Jeez.
If you start off in sun and heat, please believe me, there's going to be some stage where you're going to be curled up in fetal position, crying for warmth.
Yeah, and Mark's going to be crying for shoes. Best you take. I think take a spare pair with you. and barter with him on the way up.
He's taking his pair of shoes, but yesterday we had our little farewell braai, for our friends and family. And I said to him yesterday that I don't care what he says, but I'm going to be the one carrying his shoes. And depending on how nice he is with me, depends on whether I give them to him or not when he needs them.
It sounds like you two really get on very, very well, and I suppose that you're going to have to, because you've got to be each other's best mates there.
Well, Marco is a bit, he's a tiny bit worried. On our TV interview with E! News 2 weeks ago, he still mentioned that, once people get me started, it's not very easy to shut me up, because I do love this. Too much.
Well, we'll definitely find out. I've got a Twitter question here from Tanya. She just sent it in. I think a very good question. What route are you doing of Kilimanjaro? Because I assume there are quite a few.
There's 7 different routes, and we're doing the Rongai or Rongai. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it. It's Rongai, the Rongai route.
Okay.
We're going with a company called Team Kilimanjaro, and they've got their own variation of that exact route. So we utilize the standard Rongai route for, I think it's the first 3 days, and then we divert off it, and we end up meeting up with one of the other routes, which I believe is the Machami route, and we then summit via that as well.
Wow, okay.
And then we come down the normal Rongai route, the standard national parks Rongai route. We come down that one.
Fantastic. I'm in awe of your your ability to go and do this. I mean, geez, I wouldn't even think about something like that, and now you're going to do it next weekend. I think it's just terrific.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Sasha. And if you will allow me, I just want to let people know that they can follow us via my website or on Twitter.
Yes.
My website is obviously standwithstan.co.za, and my Twitter handle is @standwithstan, as you will know as well.
Yeah.
We will be tweeting from the mountain on a daily basis, and we will be giving. I've just sat with a lady now who's going to basically sponsor a satellite phone. Sat4Rent is the company, and they giving us a device where we might even be able to text message via that device to an email, which we're going to try to do and have that uploaded on my website on a daily basis as well.
That sounds brilliant. Listen, if we'll definitely follow and retweet all of your tweets that come from your climb. And
please, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, with pleasure. And when you get back, we definitely want to talk to you or get you in the studio, and you can come and tell us about the incredible climb.
That'll be awesome, Sasha. And like you've just said, you've got all my details. I've got you on Twitter, so now we're both sort of buggered now, because now we're not going to leave each other alone.
Exactly.
And I'm definitely taking you up on that golf game, because I've been dying to have a game of golf with you to show you how to play it.
I'm sure you will as well. I'm sure you will as well. Listen, Stan, we wish you all of the best to you and to Marco, and good luck with it. And we definitely will be chatting to you when you get back.
100%. Thank you very much. And yeah, just let everybody follow us on Twitter, and we appreciate the support. And before I go, quickly, on my website there's a link. There's a button for pathways.
Yes.
You click on that, it'll take you to the press release with the bank details. Please go donate money to Pathways. It doesn't come to us, it goes directly to Pathways. But that's why we're doing the climb at the moment. That's why Marco's going barefoot, to raise money for Pathways. So please, guys, as much as you can, even if it's just a donation, doesn't matter how small or how big, go help them. They deserve it.
That's terrific, and all for a very, very good cause. Stan Andrews, congratulations and good luck, and we'll definitely talk to you when you're back.
Thank you so much, Seth. Have a great day.
Thanks.
At the next intersection, turn on Gearz with Sasha Martinengo. Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.